Let's all give Riley a hand as she comes forward this morning.
Hey, that's not what it's called anymore. I changed it. But it fits. It works, right? What? That's okay. That's all right. So my first title was Bite Me. Then I decided maybe that's a little too much. So I went to Snake Bites. So we're going to intertwine the two of them. And I've got 8 verses for you to start, and then we're going to break it down. And I really think that this is going to bless somebody. So we'll read all through them, Eli, and then I'll tell you which ones to go back to when I'm ready for them, okay? And when they were escaped, then they knew that the island was called Melita. And the barbarous people showed us little or no little kindness, for they kindled a fire and received us every one because of the present rain and because of the cold. And when Paul had gathered a bundle of sticks and laid them on the fire, there came a viper out of the heat and fastened onto his hand. And when the barbarians saw the venomous beast hanging on his hand, they said among themselves, no doubt this man is a murderer, whom thou he hath escaped the sea, yet vengeance suffereth not to live. And he shook off the beast into the fire, and felt no harm. Howbeit, they looked when he should have swollen, or fallen down dead suddenly. But after they had looked a great while, and saw no harm come to him, they changed their minds, and said that he was a god. In the same quarters were possessions of the chief man of the island, whose name was Publius, who received us and lodged us 3 days courteously. And it came to pass that the father of Publius lay sick with a fever and of a bloody flux, to whom Paul entered in and prayed and laid his hands on him and healed him. So you can go back just to my title and keep it there. So in verse 2 and 4, it calls the people of Melita barbarous, but they didn't mean that they were like savage people, just meant that they were different from Paul and the people with him. So in this time, you were called barbarous if you didn't speak the Greek language, and that's what Paul and his people that were with him spoke. So it was different. They were just different people. But regardless of the language barriers, the natives of Melita showed them no little kindness, according to verse 2. They decided, due to the rain and the cold, that they would build Paul and the other prisoners a fire. While they built the fire, Paul was inspired to help them, so he reached for some sticks to contribute to the building of the fire. But when he throws the sticks into the fire, the snake reaches out and bites Paul on the hand. So in verse 3, it says, the snake fastened onto his hand, which is unusual behavior for a venomous snake. So if a venomous snake doesn't need to hang on to you, they bite you, they get their venom into you, and they let go, and they go on about their business. This is an unusual attack. It's not common for snake behavior. It would make more sense if this was a coiling snake that was not venomous but would kill by constriction. But the text is specific in saying this is a venomous snake. So now the natives are standing around waiting for Paul to A, swell up. He didn't. B, to die. He didn't. 3, to fall out. He didn't. For him to aspirate because the snake attacked, but he didn't. And I know that there are people in this room, even though there's not very many of us, that have had attacks in their life, and people were waiting for you to fall out, but you didn't. They were waiting for you to swell up, but you didn't. They were waiting for you to develop a funky attitude, but you're still walking around nice. You still got the joy of the Lord. You're walking around like nothing has happened to you. You had your snake bite go public, but there's no sign of you falling out. There, from the attack that's been on your life. You got people waiting for you to die, and you're still here. You got people waiting for you to fall out. You're still here. They're waiting for you to get stressed out and be sick in the hospital because they know your bite, but they're confused by the rebound of your bite. Look at somebody. I was really hoping that this was going to be a full house because I might have to do it again when there's more people. But look at somebody and say the greatest clapback you can give somebody is to live past your bite.